Welcome to InfoNugget, guys. So in this lecture we will be learning about the shape tools available in our Adobe Illustrator software. So let's begin. First of all, I want you to open the artboard same as I have opened. Go to File, press New and make the width as 1024 and height as 1280 and press Create. So now we both have the same artboards on our screen. Guys, now I want you to pause your video and go to the description box of this video and open a Google Drive link that I have prepared for you. Go to the link and download the vectorshapes.jpg file that is placed there. Let's go to the description box. This is my description box. Click on show more. Now you will see download the vectorshape.jpg file link here. Click on the link. Now this image will appear. Download this image from here and place this image on the desktop or any of the folder where you want to place it. I will place it on my desktop. Now my file is downloaded. Now come back to your Adobe Illustrator software. Click on File. Then go to Place. Now choose the vectorshapes.jpg file that you downloaded and placed on your desktop. Let's place it. Click on Place and just click it. So our vectorshapes.jpg file has been placed in our Adobe Illustrator software. I have created this file for you so that we can easily and quickly understand about the shape tools in our Adobe Illustrator software. Now we both have the same screens on our computer. Now I want you to log the layer number 1 on which notes1.jpg image is placed. We will be learning about the layers in the next lecture. Right now I just want you to click on the layers panel that we have in our panel dock. Click on layers and lock it. If you can't see your layers panel, you can go to window and choose layers. Now your layers panel will be in front of you. After locking the layer number 1, I want you to create one more layer. Click on these 3 lines. Press new layer. Press OK. Simple. Now we are on the layer number 2, and on the layer number 2 we will do our all work. So first we have rectangle tool. We can press M for the rectangle tool or just go to the rectangle tool that is placed in our toolbox. I want you to do a hard click on the rectangle tool. Now we will have all our shape tools in front of us. Now I want you to click on this arrow. Clicking on this arrow enables us to take out our shape tools and move them wherever we want. Now first we will use rectangle tool. For rectangle tool, I want you to zoom in a bit on this first rectangle. Click on one of its edge. Now drag to the another edge and a rectangle would be ready. Now I want you to make the stroke as number 3. Simple. And now we will remove the inner color of this rectangle. SV for the selection tool, and now go to the fill and press none. So simple. So let's make the square. Choose the rectangle tool, click on one of its edge and make a rectangle. Now if I press shift here, it will turn my rectangle to a square. Pressing shift makes all your sides in equal length. If I press shift, now the dimension of all the sides are equal. Now I will make it a square. You don't have to leave the shift until you have clicked and placed your image. Simple. Now let's create this. Here we have set of rectangles we will create. Choose the rectangle tool, click on one of its edge and make a rectangle. Simple. We will put on this edge, drag it on this edge. 2 rectangles are ready. Now I will click on this edge and drag it to this edge. Similarly, we will do this here and here. So this was all about a rectangle tool. So here we learned that we can use rectangle tool by pressing M. If we press shift while making rectangle, it will make the vector shape into a square. Right now it's a rectangle. Now I press shift, it's a square. If I leave my shift, it's a rectangle. Similarly, if I'm making a pentagon and I press shift, all sides of my pentagon will be equal. So next we have rounded rectangle tool. I will choose my rounded rectangle tool from here. Zoom in. And now I will click here and drag. Now we will select our selection tool from the toolbox, that is the black cursor. We will use a black cursor only in this lecture. We will be talking about direct selection tool, that is the white cursor, in further lectures. Don't use it right now. Just choose the black cursor. With the black cursor, we can move our shape around or change its size. If I select my shape with the black cursor, I can move it down, up, or anywhere I want. I can even change its dimensions by clicking it from here. I can make it small, I can make it big, I can move it with my selection tool. Simple. Next we will create a square, rounded square. Choose the rounded rectangle tool, click here, press shift and make it like this. Now I see my square is bigger than the red one. I will go to the selection tool, change the dimensions, press shift. Now decrease the dimensions. Simple. Next we have a hut created by using rounded rectangle tool. I want you to choose your rounded rectangle tool and create the roof of this house first. Click on one of its edge and drag it to the end. Now if you want to change the size of your rounded rectangle, you can go to your selection tool in your toolbox or directly press V for the selection tool and change the dimension of your roof or the rounded rectangle. So let's keep it here. So next we will come to the lower area of this hut. Now by choosing the selection tool, you can move your hut area here and there. Now if I want to place it a bit here, so let's change its dimensions. Done. Now I will create the door of this house. Press V for going to the selection tool. Now choose the rounded rectangle tool. Here we have two windows. These two windows are same, so we don't need to make these two windows separately. We can just create one and then copy and paste the another one. Let's create the first window. Choose the selection tool to change its dimensions. Choose your shape. Now make the dimension as you want. Now we will copy this window and paste it here. And if you are using a Mac, then press Command C. If you are using a Windows, then press Control C. For pasting, press Command V in your Mac, and for Windows, press Control V. Now place your window using selection tool wherever you want. We want to place our window here. Done. Our hut is ready. Now we want to use Ellipse Tool. Choose your Ellipse Tool from your Shapes panel or press L for shortcut. Now click and drag, you will find such an image. Now if you press shift, you will get a perfect circle. Similarly, now just choose the dimension you want and now go to the selection tool and place it on your red circle. Adjust the dimensions. Now you can move your shape using the arrow keys you have on your keyboard. Now if I press my arrow up key, my shape will move up. If I choose my arrow down key, my shape will move down. Similarly, if I press the arrow left key, my image will move towards the left. If I choose right, it will go towards right. So it was a So next we have set of ellipses. Here we have 4 ellipses to create. Let's begin. Press shift, go to the selection tool, adjust your ellipse. Next again ellipse tool, press L for shortcut of ellipse tool, press shift, adjust your ellipse position. I'm using arrow keys. Press shift, press V for the selection tool. Now adjust with your arrow keys. Adjust the dimension. Simple. Now let's create the outer ellipse, the 4th one. Press shift, press V for the selection tool, place it, decrease its dimensions, adjust your ellipse in such a way that you can't see your red lines under the black ellipse. Next we have oval. Choose your ellipse tool, create an oval, press selection tool. Now adjust its position. Now adjust the size. Simple. Here we learned about rectangle tool, rounded rectangle tool, and ellipse tool. We also learned about selection tool. So we learned that selection tool is used to increase or decrease size of any vector shape, or we can move it from one place to another on our artboard. Simple. Next we have a polygon tool. So we learned about 3 tools: rectangle tool, rounded rectangle tool, and ellipse tool. I want you to open your Adobe Illustrator software and use all 3 tools as I have used. We also learned about the selection tool. Selection tool is the black cursor that we see on our screen. When we click any of our shape, we can select it and we can move it around. When we press on its corner, we can increase or decrease its size. Press Command Z for undo. Press Command C for copy and Command V for paste. In Windows, press Ctrl Z for undo, Ctrl C for copy, and Ctrl V for pasting. Next we have our polygon tool. Click on the polygon tool here in the toolbox. Now we have all these shapes. We can make all these shapes using one polygon tool. When we click and drag on a polygon tool, we see there are so many sides. We can increase or decrease the number of sides of our polygon. If I use my arrow keys, if I press on my upper arrow key, the number of sides increases. If I again press on the upper arrow key, the number of sides increases. If I now press my lower arrow key and keep pressing it, the number of sides will decrease. Delete it. Now zoom into your triangle. Click on one of its edges. Press shift. By pressing shift, you will get a straight triangle as I have made with the red pen. Press V for the selection tool and now place your triangle on the red one. Adjust the size. Pressing shift is very important in order to get a perfect equilateral triangle. If we don't press shift, we will get such an image. Right now I have not pressed shift. If I press shift, it will be a perfect triangle. Let's delete it. Next we have a pentagon. Pentagon has 5 sides. Choose your polygon tool. Now for increasing the number of sides, I will press my upper arrow key. Simple. So press shift, press V for the selection tool. Now grab your selection, now drag your pentagon to the red pentagon and place it on it. Next we have pentagon. Pentagon has 5 sides. Choose your polygon tool, increase the number of sides. Right now we have 3 sides on the screen. Press the upper arrow key. Now we have 4 sides. Press upper arrow key again. Now we have 5 sides. Press shift for getting a perfect pentagon. increase its size. Now press V for the selection tool, or you can choose it from the toolbox here. Drag your pentagon on the red pentagon and adjust its size. Press shift. Now you can move it using your arrow keys. Adjust it in such a way that you are not able to see the red lines under it. Pressing shift is important in order to get a perfect pentagon or any other vector shape. Now we have hexagon. Here we have 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to your polygon tool. Right now in a polygon tool there are 5 sides open. Press upper arrow key. Now we have 6 sides. Press shift. Now we have a perfect hexagon. Increase its size. Leave the click button. Now press V. Drag your black pentagon on the red one. Using selection tool, adjust its dimensions. Pressing shift is important in order to get a perfect one. Next we have heptagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we have 7 sides. For 7 sides, you will go to a polygon tool. Increase the number of sides to 7. Press shift. Press V for the selection tool. If I leave my shift button before pressing on the polygon, I won't get a perfect polygon. For example, right now I'm pressing the shift button, I left it and then placed. My polygon won't be perfect. I need to click on the shift button, press the shift button, then leave click. Shift button must be pressed before you are clicking. Press V for the selection tool. I will delete these 2 polygons. Now let's click. Choose your polygon using selection tool, place it and adjust its dimension, pressing shift. Next we have a polygon with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. Choose your polygon tool and just click on your screen. You will get an option. Now choose the number of sides you want. Let's click 15. Now I will get a polygon with 15 sides. Right now I need a polygon with 8 sides. Click on your screen. Press 8. Now we have an octagon on our screen. Choose the selection tool. Drag it on your red octagon. Now adjust its sides. Press shift. Now I will move it using my arrow keys. Simple. The last tool we have here is star tool. You can find the star tool here in the toolbox. Now similarly as we did for the octagon, just click on the screen. We need 5 points on a star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press 5. Now we will get a star with 5 points on it. Let's do this again. Let's choose 15. We will get a star with 15 points. Let's do it again. Let's make it 100. Now we have a star with 100 points on it. Let's delete it. Now we will make a star with 5 points. Decrease the number of points using your arrow keys. Now I am pressing the lower arrow key now I am pressing the down arrow key for decreasing the number of points of my star. I can directly decrease them by clicking on my screen, putting my number as 5. Now place the star on your red star using selection tool. Adjust its size, press shift. Drag it on the red star. Done. Next we have a star with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. So choose the star tool, click on it and now press 7. Here we have a star with 7 points. Press V for the selection tool. Place the star on the red one. Now adjust the size. Press shift, drag it, again press shift. From here again press shift. Simple. Next we have a star with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. Similarly we will do press 10. Now decrease the size using your selection tool. Press shift. Use your arrow keys to adjust your star. Pressing shift is important in order to get a perfect shape. Done. Next we have a star with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points. Choose the star tool. Click on the star. Press 12. Enter OK. Press V for the selection tool, or you can choose it from the toolbox. Drag it on the red star. Adjust its size. Press shift. Done. So here we learned about star tool. We learned about 5 tools in this lecture: rectangle tool, rounded rectangle tool, ellipse tool, polygon tool, and star tool. Here we have one more tool, flare tool, that we don't need to learn about in this lecture.